Hey guys, welcome to your week 36 U.S. history launch, and we are starting a new project this week. This is the last one for the year. It's called the U.S. History Capstone Project. But first, we want to discuss the winners of the Focus on the Finish Challenge. Their results were calculated on Friday, April 27th at 4 p.m., so the end of the school day, and 8th grade expanded their lead over the 7th grade and held on and won. So congratulations to the 8th grade. You guys won. And I believe we had really, really good participation. So I think there's only one student who did not participate at all during the project. So all of you, or most of you, I should say, will be receiving your prize in the mail. I believe they're going to send it out with your Checkpoint 7 progress reports. There are 20 days left as of today. So again, it's time to make a decision of how you're going to approach the end of this school year. You do have three options. Your first is to complete all of your courses by May 25th. That, to me, is the most sensible option because that's what's been expected of you all along, is to just do your work. Second option, if you have completed at least 50% of a course, you're eligible for summer school. However, this is not free. This will cost $100 per course. So I'm sure that most of your parents or guardians are not going to be looking forward to shelling out upwards of $400 because you chose not to do your work this year. So you have 20 days to make sure that they're not too mad at you come summer. And if you fail 2 or more classes, you will be retained to your current grade level. So if you're somebody who has really not done much of anything yet, and you're not even eligible for summer school, you will likely be retained in your current grade level. The U.S. History Capstone Project, just a little overview of it. The essential questions that you're going to be looking through whenever you're doing this project is, what does it mean to be an American? Why study American history? And what does American identity and American history mean to me, my family, and my community? So those are just some ideas that you should keep in the back of your head as you're working through this project. The project summary: you will be learning about the concepts of American identity and American history by examining various sources. So what your idea of America is, it might differ from your neighbor or somebody else in a different state or town. You will pick a family member or community member to interview and ask about a specific historical event or time period to ask about. So if you want to talk about their views on 9/11 or Vietnam or World War II or the 1980s or something like that. And then the final product will be to create a multimedia piece where you synthesize what you've learned. So synthesizing is a fancy word for comparing and contrasting. When you get into the project, you'll see the first checkpoint is called, what does it mean to be an American? And you want to make sure that you click into those resources. Whenever you open up the resources, again, you do not have to do all of this. You are only required to discuss one of these. So I recommend, if you are somebody who is not the best reader or you struggle with comprehension, maybe look for one of the videos that's in here, or choose one of the mild or medium sources. The spicy sources is for somebody who would like to challenge themselves and might be at or above grade level for reading. And then I also recommend use the graphic organizer that is in that checkpoint, because you should be using this to work out your answers. If you use the graphic organizer, all you have to do then is transfer the information from the graphic organizer over to the checkpoint. Because if you answer this, this is asking for what is the source, what's all the information about it, what is the author's main claim about American identity or American history, and then what reasoning or specific evidence did they provide. And then basically you're going to be evaluating that author's reasoning. So did you find the author's argument and evidence convincing? Why or why not? So it's a good idea to always use the graphic organizers. And when you look in checkpoint 1, you want to make sure the directions are clearly stated. You want to state the author's main arguments and claims. Additionally, summarize the evidence and reasoning that the author provides. And then finally, evaluate the author's reasoning and evidence. So if you use the graphic organizer, you should have a much easier time doing this. Week 36 runs from May 2nd through May 8th. I'd like you guys to try to master that industrialization focus area. And if you're up for a challenge, start working on those additional focus areas. Those are not required for your grade, but it's basically extra credit, and it can only help your grade. So, and also submit checkpoint 1 of the U.S. History Capstone Project. Your grades should be coming out shortly, and I want to again discuss how these are determined. So if we look at this particular individual, we have, this is somebody who's done a majority of the work. So what we do is we count up how many things they were supposed to do and how many they did. So this is somebody who's been here from the beginning of the year. And as you can see, we counted, there were 10 things that should have been done at this point in the year, and they did 7 of them. So then we do a little math problem. They completed 7 out of 10 required assignments, which is 70%. The grade of all the completed work this person did is a 77. However, if we tell you you have a 77 for a grade, that's misleading because you did not do 3 of the things that need a grade, and it's actually a 0 at this point. So what you do, because you're behind, you're only going to get 70% of that 77, which drops your grade to a 54, okay? Then we need to take a look at the launches. So this example in the left or in the right, we have to kind of go backwards here. The right column is the grade that you earned from doing assignments. So this same person that got a 77, the middle column is the number of launches that were completed. So they should have had about 35 done at this point, and they did 27, which is a good number. But then you'll see that that 77 jumps up to a final grade of a 79. Whereas the bottom row, this person had a 92. They've done a really nice job on all the work they've turned in, but they only did 14, which is like less than half of the launches. And that dropped their grade from a 92 to an 88. So you guys need to see the importance of these launches. They can really help your grade and swing you to the next, from an A- to an A+, or, even like a D to a C. So it's very important to go back if you haven't and complete all of those launches. The bottom line, do your work, okay? That's what's been expected of you all year, is to do your work. Your reflection for today, in a private comment, I'd like you to answer, do you think you will need summer school to finish your courses?